welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mary and I give you guys an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you stay for a while, grab a snack, click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So that's right, you read the title correct. My Beauty Bay and Nikkie Tutorials collaboration eyeshadow palette is finally here. Oh my goodness. I ordered this on the 31st of August. It got here on Friday, which was the 11th. So it took 2 weeks to get here from the UK. Since it is coming from the UK, I feel like that's kind of a little fast, which is nice. It definitely could have taken longer. So I'm just happy it's here and I can finally play with it. All right, so we're gonna test this bad boy out. Let's get started. All right, the first thing I want to review real quick is just the packaging. I really do love the unicorn. I think it's beautiful. She also has a little message in the back. It came in a little bubble wrapper. This is what the eyeshadow palette itself looks like. I honestly really do enjoy it. I love the fact that one side is very colorful and the other side is kind of more on like the dark side, which I feel like we can definitely relate to that. You know, we all have like this bubbly personality that we tend to show off mostly around the people that we're comfortable with, and then we have dark side that you show mostly when you're around like strangers, new people. I definitely really like the concept that she did that for the packaging itself. It kind of just shows who she is as a person, you know. I really love the dark side. My favorite holiday is Halloween, so this gives me like a big Halloween vibe. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the color story. Watched it. That is a beautiful color story. Now, I know for beginners, it's probably a very scary color story to look at, but I just feel like a lot of the colors will blend very nicely to each other. I am a little sad that a couple of the colors on here look a little pastel, like the sky blue one and the yellow. Those for sure look like they are pastel colors. I don't like pastel colors because I feel like you have to work way too hard for them. So yeah, I'm just excited that it's here and that I get to play with it and I get to tell you guys whether I like this palette or not. Without further ado, let's get started already. All right, my eyes are primed and I used the MAC paint pot. I love the MAC paint pot and it has never failed me, so I decided to go with a safe choice. In case you didn't know, this is a pressed pigment palette. What does that mean? It means they can't really call it an eyeshadow palette because some of the ingredients in it, in order to make it vegan and cruelty free, are not eye safe because they stain your eyes. So they are required by law to call it a pressed pigment palette instead of an eyeshadow palette. There is a warning and everything about using it on your eyes and whatnot. It's what they're supposed to call it. First color we are going to jump into is Zomer, which is that pretty like peachy color. I'm going to use this on my crease as my transition shade. Oh, that's so pretty. And it's very pigmented. The one thing I have really heard about pressed pigments, I am 100% sure this is my first pressed pigment palette, I think. Well, one of the main people mention is that they are very hard to work with as far as blending wise. I have definitely watched a couple of reviews on the palette. I had to, it just took so long to get here that I had to watch reviews. I just had to. Honestly, the reviews are 50-50. And some are pro MUAs, some are just, you know, YouTubers reviewing a product. So I'm going into this as like a regular consumer, since I'm not, you know, technically a professional MUA, nor am I an influencer, YouTuber, what do you want to call him. I mean, my platform is so small that I don't consider myself well, even when it's not, like if I ever grow, I still wouldn't like to call myself an influencer. I hate that word. So far, this color is blending beautifully like butter, and I am really enjoying it. Oh, by the way, I went in with a Sigma E38. It's just a fluffy, like, buffer brush. All right, next color I am going to pick up is Nikkie. I think that's how you pronounce it. And if you watched Nikkie Tutorials reveal video, that shade is dedicated to her brother who passed away, and she wanted him or his shade to be right in the middle of the palette, just representing like the heart of the palette, which I thought was so beautiful. I mean, I can't even imagine what it's like to lose a sibling. I'm using a Sigma E25. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a halo eye. I wasn't going to go too bold with today's look, but that's slowly changing. I kind of just wanted to review the palette itself and not focus too much on making a super crazy look. I'll have more time to play around with the palette. I just really wanted just to do a like review for it more than anything. And so far, this color is blending pretty well. It's not super difficult to work with. I know when you think about working with a color like red, you get scared, you know? But so far, it's blending beautifully, and I'm really enjoying this shade. One of my favorite YouTubers, Make Me Up Misa, I love her. Her eyeshadow looks are just so bold and out there. She purchased this palette and she did not love it. She has tested it out, I think 4 times already. And I mean, she said, you know, they perform great. All the pigment is there, but she is just not in love with the palette like she thought she was going to be, because she raves about the Beauty Bay and Mama Mitchell collaboration palette, which is, I think, her favorite eyeshadow palette. I was very disappointed to hear her say that, but I didn't let that discourage me into getting excited for testing out this palette, because at the end of the day, the way she does her makeup is completely different than the way I do my makeup. So the techniques that she uses might not work for me, and that could be the reason why I don't use them. I use different techniques than she does. So I'm still here, super excited to try it out. And so far, I am loving every single shade that I have used. They are blending beautifully. Alright guys, this is what the eyes look like so far. I know, don't be scared. It's okay. Like I've said in so many of my videos, it comes together at the end. In case you are wondering, the fallout on these shades, I mean, they're pretty powdery, but that is normal for a pressed pigment palette. For me, it is definitely not a deal breaker, but some people mind. Next shade I'll be jumping into is Slasher, and it's like a very beautiful, like a wine purple burgundy color, and I'm going to use this to kind of darken up the inner and outer corner of my eyelid for this halo eye. So far, all of the colors are blending beautifully. I am having no issues at all, which is definitely nice, especially if you're like a beginner at makeup and you're worried that some of these shades are hard to blend. At least for me and the simple techniques that I'm using, not hard at all. But if you're not comfortable with colors like these, then I would definitely suggest that you maybe try something else. I used the Morphe & Jaclyn Hill JH40. It's that very small, precise brush that I absolutely love picking up for when I am using darker shades, just so that I can be nice and precise and know exactly where the color is going. Alright, this is what we have so far. I did go ahead and put just a tiny bit of concealer right in the middle. I used a Laura Lee Los Angeles L17 and my MAC paint pot so that the shimmer glittery shade has something to go on top of. Now to pick which shade I want to use because they all look so beautiful. I think I definitely want to go for a shimmer shade that's on the darker side, just because the ones that are on the bright side seem like they all have a hue of like pink or like salmon or orange, and I already have enough red and pink on my eyelid as it is. I'm going to go into all in first, and then I'll see if I want to top it with a little bit of ivy. So I'm going to use my finger. So far, all of the reviews, oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. Wow. So far, all of the reviews that I have seen, the best way to lay the shimmer downs in this pigment palette is with your finger. It seems like it's the best way that they work. So, oh my gosh, are you seeing that? Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. The shimmer shades for sure are what is literally making everyone's jaws drop. Maybe I should bring it closer. Wow. Oh my gosh, and I don't even think the camera does it justice. Oh, so pretty. Okay, this is what we have so far. I did pick up a little bit of ivy. That's what that shimmer shade looks like. Super beautiful. And put it like right down the center of my eyelid. So now we are going to get our base down, and then we'll finish up the lower lash line. All right, we are back. Base is down, contour bronzer, eyebrows. All right, I am going to go into Zomer, and that's that beautiful peachy shade I used for my transition. I'm going to use this for my lower lash line. I was going to use like maybe that cobalt blue or the green in here, but I decided to keep it in like the pink and reds family. I'm just going to use that bright pink shade. In case you are wondering, I used the Clinique Even Better Glow foundation. I love that foundation. The only bad thing is that Clinique is not cruelty free, so I try not to use it too much on camera. And I used the e.l.f. blending brush. It's just a small little fluffy brush. Now I'm going to use a Sigma E34, and it's like a little small fluffy pencil brush. And I'm going to dip into the pink color in the palette, blend and snap. And I thought it was super cute the way she came up with his name. If you guys have watched Legally Blonde, that bend and snap scene where what's her name, oh my gosh, Reese Witherspoon's, I forget the name of the main character from the movie, but she teaches her nail tech the bend and snap to get the man's attention. That was her, Nikkie's little twist to that name. I thought it was cute, and it's a very like typical Barbie pink. So I am going back to the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe brush, and I'm going back into that color Slasher, which is like that deep wine burgundy, and I'm just going to darken up my lower lash line outer corner just a tiny bit. I'm only going to bring it like halfway in. I I also have been using the shade Basic Trot, which is basic biatch. I'm not gonna say that word in Dutch because Nikkie Tutorials is Dutch, which is the lightest shade in this palette, and it's a little bit of like a nude skin tone color. It actually works great for me blending out the outer edges of my eyeshadow. It just makes it look more airbrushed. Alright guys, and this is it. This is the final look with the Beauty Bay and Nikkie Tutorials collaboration pressed pigment palette. I went ahead and finished off the look with the Makeup Geek lashes in Isabella. I also went ahead and did like a mauvey lip. I used this little Buxom. It's like one of those really big lip liner crayons. This is in the color Dolly Danger, and I used one of Dose of Colors matte liquid lips in Stone. Then I went ahead and I highlighted. As you can tell, my highlight has a little bit of like a pink undertone. I used one of Nikkie Tutorials collaboration with Ofra Cosmetics in Cloud 9. I love this highlighter. It is so pretty. It has a pink shift to it. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, see? It is so pretty. I am so glad I picked this up when Ofra was having a sale on their highlighters. I have definitely used that a couple of times. I think it looks absolutely beautiful every single time I use it. So I'm so happy I have this. So now we come to the conclusion on what the first impressions are for this eyeshadow palette. I personally think it is a great eyeshadow palette. I really love the packaging. The color story in my eyes is actually a pretty good color story. You have a good amount of color in here as well as some neutral colors, so you can create the best of both worlds. The shimmer shades, oh my gosh, when I tell you how amazing these shimmer shades are. I mean, granted, I only used 2 of them. Let's see, let me see how many of these shades I used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I used 5 of the matte shades and 2 of the shimmer shades. It's actually a pretty good amount of colors to use on like a first impression. I wasn't going to go for such a bold look, but this is what I ended up with. I will definitely be playing around with this eyeshadow palette a lot more. I am so excited to see what other beautiful eye looks I can create with it. It's just, for me personally, it is a great palette. It has 20 shades. The pan sizes are very decent, and it's $30, which is not bad at all for how big this eyeshadow palette is. $30 is not a lot. Shipment for me from the UK to Texas was $6.50. So my total was $36.50 plus tax. It was only like, I think, $1 something. So that's like a really good price for this eyeshadow palette. I definitely enjoyed the mattes. For sure, I think the winner, the big winners of this eyeshadow palette is the shimmer shades. So if you are one of those people that the shimmer shades is what makes or breaks an eyeshadow palette for you, then you will definitely love this. If you don't care too much for the shimmer shades, the mattes still work absolutely amazing. For me personally, I'm not a professional makeup artist. I'm just somebody who loves makeup and with practice has gotten better at it. So I don't do like super intricate eye looks. I could if I wanted to. I have definitely tried, but like personally me, on like the days that I put makeup on for myself, that's not what I do. For me, at my level scale, the mattes performed amazing. They blended so well into each other, like a little too well. It's crazy how amazing they blended into each other. And also, like I said, the shimmer shadows, they're just so amazing. I just feel like any eye look you create with this eyeshadow palette is just going to be beautiful. again, that's my personal opinion, and again, that is my first impressions. Like I said, I have seen a good amount of reviews on the eyeshadow palette, and I have seen both good and bad reviews of the eyeshadow palette, but I hope that my review helps you out on deciding whether you do pick up this eyeshadow palette if and when the eyeshadow palette does get restocked. When she first came out with her reveal video, she mentioned that they only ordered a certain amount of units and that was it. Well, she recently uploaded another video where I think she titled it Things I Didn't Tell You About My Eyeshadow Palette. So apparently that units that they ordered on the first launch, they only put a particular amount of that unit into the first launch. So there is going to be a second batch that was part of that original order of units that she had agreed upon for them to order. So I guess they only put out half or however many percentage of the units that they ordered for the first go around, so they can have certain units for the second go around. I'll link her video down below so you guys can go check it out for yourselves and make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what she means. So in conclusion, I do love the Nikkie Tutorials and Beauty Bay collaboration. I am so happy I ended up picking this up, and I just can't wait to keep playing with it. I really did enjoy creating this eye look. I had no trouble with it whatsoever. It went very smoothly for me. Alright guys, well, let me know what you think. Are you going to pick this up? Did you pick it up? Do you watch Nikkie Tutorials? If you did pick this up, what do you think of the eyeshadow palette? Do you think it's worth what you paid for, or do you think it was overhyped? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you think. I would love to know. I would love it if you gave this video a big thumbs up. It would really help me out in the algorithm and hopefully bring some fresh eyes into my channel. And I would also love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking that subscribe button. If you made it to the end and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. Okay, I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.